What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, well, with another market watch today. Before we just want to say that with the next set coming out soon, I think we're going to see a lot of hype behind the new cards, the archetypes of the new set. And we're going to see card prices rise up because of that. And when that happens, I don't know, this is where you basically take the gamble. Do you hold archetypes like, well, Drytrons or whatever other archetypes are coming out within a new set, or do you sell? Because immediately after that new set comes out, we see a little bit of stabilization for the prices, and then we see them usually go down. And I think that's going to be happening. And that's where you place your bets and you buy archetypes and you sell them. And it's going to happen universally, and more likely it won't happen again for a long time until we see maybe some new hype, or maybe it's so long that they just become valuable because you don't have many in the market. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like button, and comment down below. Comment question of the day. When to release a Stardust Overdrive, or Starlight Overdrive, I already forgot the name of the set. With that new set coming out, what are you looking to buy? What are you looking to play? In some cases, I think people might be looking to play or pick up Drytron cards. And in the case of Mediana's Drytron, it's only going up in value for the collector's rare. This version of the card with a $61 market price is roughly around $68 to near $70. And Mediana's Drytron is definitely looking to continue to rise up higher and higher as we get closer to the set. Now, if you don't want to buy the collector's rares and you want to buy the ultra rare, no big deal. It's actually kind of roughly around $8. It's stabilized. Not that big of a deal, to be honest with you, if you are not looking to buy the other version, which is obviously insanely expensive. If you are looking to get a playset of Drytron Novas with a $27 market price, the value of these are roughly around the $30 price point. Now, can they go higher? I don't know. Can they get reprinted? They should, but we don't know as well. So, gotta keep an eye on this, because as time goes on, this might continue to rise and rise in price point, like it previously has been doing. If you somehow want to play Hero the Orange Light, by the way, at an OTS 1 Pack 7 with an $80 market price, the value, well, besides the fact that it's almost gone off the market, there's one over here for $76, then they're $90s, and then they're $100. By the way, after that place is gone, you'll see them at some insanely high $120 price points for Hero Orange Light Ultimate Rare at an OTS 1 Pack 7. And that's something I want to talk about, is the fact that a lot of these cards, I mean, don't get me wrong, Hero Orange Light sees players in Drytrons right now, right, as a tier 2 deck, but yet look at the amount of people who are not replenishing the market. People are holding these cards, and by holding these cards, it allows these cards to go up in value. So then it adds a vicious cycle. If you're looking to buy Hero Orange Light and you buy a playset and you buy it right now and you hold it, well, the value goes up, since nobody's replenishing the market, right? So the few are in there are going to be a lot of money, right? So once again, you're holding, the value's going up. You're holding, the value's going up. And as people join in, the value just goes up naturally in this case. And it becomes a situation of, once again, if you don't have the card and I have it, why would I want to get rid of it if I see the price point only going up higher? The market not being able to replenish the card makes me, my card's worth more money. And we're going to see that in this video, by the way, of other cards that are kind of doing the same thing. I mean, look at just Ancient Guardians. Don't get me wrong, I think this set's going to go down before it goes up, but inevitably, this set will go up. Let's not get it twisted. It has collector's rares, their money, they rise. Look at that Dynasty Prankatops, though. This card is constantly going down. Last week, it was roughly around $137. Today, it's roughly around $128 for a collector's rare version of the card, and it is slowly going down. I do think this card eventually is going to hit a bit of a crash, stabilize, and start spiking back up. Other cards out of Ancient Guardians includes Trade-In, which, keep an eye on this card. This card will not be low for long. This card currently with $101 market price is roughly around $83. Seriously, this is like the card everyone should be focusing on. Any draw card in this game has always been a ton of money. When to go in and buy collector's rare trade-ins, I would say wait till it's roughly around $70 price point, and that's the price point I think you should snipe this card at. The minute it hits that price, go and grab your playset. It will rise in value. Its draw cards in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Have always been money, and if they don't see play, no big deal. They're not looked at right now, and then when they are looked at, they hit some insanely high price points. Into the Void Ultimate Rares for a long time weren't really worth a lot of money because it was considered a bad card, but yet Into the Void now Ultimate Rares worth money because it's limited, by the way, and it's still worth money because it's considered a good card. That happens with a lot of cards. We had Upstart Goblin at 3 in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta, and nobody cared about it. And then people started focusing on it, and the prices shot up. But yeah, I do think Ancient Guardians is definitely a set that's going to crash in value. Even though reptiles aren't that bad, I wish these little other pendulum cards were pretty good, but they're not. But there's definitely still value in here, so keep an eye on this set. I want to say go in and throw money today, but just wait and be patient. There is definitely value in this set. Then we have Speed Duel Battle City boxes. These are going to be worth so much money in the future. And we're already seeing value slowly increase in this box set. Slowly, over and over and over and over again. And I'll say right now, if you could buy sealed Speed Duel Battle City boxes, buy as many as possible. I definitely recommend you open them, sort them, put them in your binder. But there's value in here. If you get on MSRP, by the way. There's value in here all day long. So keep an eye out for this set. I've been saying it, I don't know, nonstop. And I'm going to continue to say it, because this is a great box. We also have Forbidden Droplet coming out of Rise of Duels with $121 market price. The value is $121. I don't know many decks playing Forbidden Droplet, but I do know Forbidden Droplet's a good card in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I know, shocker, right? The issue with Forbidden Droplet is it's really expensive, it's hard to get. Don't worry, we'll be getting an Ultimate Rare. Remember that Ultimate Rare we're getting? It's coming out soon in OTS. That's great, right? Well, yes and no. I think as we get near the Ultimate Rare, the price of Forbidden Droplet cigarette might drop down a little bit. Not as much as people will like, but a little bit. The Ultimate Rare comes out, and then the price kind of goes back up in value. Well, why? Because Ultimate Rares at OTS sets can only be done by playing in remote duels, getting those OTS packs sent to you, opening those OTS packs, and hopefully putting Forbidden Droplet. Now, let's be honest with ourselves. The amount of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players that are going to hold their cigarette playset until they have the Ultimate Rare playset is not that many. More so, the amount of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players playing and looking to get Forbidden Droplet and holding the Ultimate Rare more than likely won't be so as well, due to the fact that the Ultimate Rare will probably be at an insanely high price point. So what we have here is a weird version of chicken and the egg. We have Forbidden Droplet, which is definitely the egg here, and we have the chicken, which is the Ultimate Rare version of Forbidden Droplet. What's going to happen? People are going to hold both more than likely until they get a playset of the chicken, but until then, they got the egg. Those who don't have any might hold the chicken and not sell. So the price of Forbidden Droplet will be so inflated and maintain being inflated due to the fact that we have remote duels and not physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals or events in general that you can get OTS packs in. We might see the price of Forbidden Droplet Ultimate Rare be absolutely insanely inflated. We kind of saw it with Nibiru when it came out as an Ultimate Rare, but even more so with Forbidden Droplet, because when Nibiru that had a shorter price point, Forbidden Droplet came out day one, $60. And only risen. It's going to get crazy what's going to happen with this card. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not selling my Secret Rares until I have my Ultimate Rare playset. And even that, I might not sell my Secret Rares. So let me know what you're going to do with yours. Comment down below. Invocation the price point is getting ridiculous. The cheapest Invocation is a Super Rare Shadows of Valhalla with a $47 market price. But it's roughly around $48 to $49. Now, don't get me wrong. I really like Invocation a lot. I like Shadow Invoked. It's a good deck. We like the cards. The problem is, where is the reprint? Being the fact that there's no reprint coming out right now, the price of the Super Rare is almost at the price of the Secret Rare, and pick your poison. At a Fusion of Forces or at a Battles of Legends. They're both really expensive. Which means, if I had to make a prediction, as long as we don't get another printing of Invocation, which hopefully Konami does do this, the Secret Rares will get higher to pull away from the Super. And if that's the case, that means the Secret Rares will push the price point of the Ultimate Rares. They will get higher. They're gonna like planets. They can't be too close together. They just repel from each other. You can do magnets too, but I like planets. It's more global. Anyway, looking at Invocation, I do think the Secret Rares is going to start getting harder and harder to get, increasing higher and higher in value. And of course, it's going to do the same thing to the Ultimate Rare at OTS Tournament Pack 6. That's crazy. That's how overinflated Super Rare is right now, because everybody decided to get the cheapest version, which became the same price, almost the same price of the Secret Rare version. We last talked about Access Code Talker and how the fact that this card is getting more and more expensive. The current $102 market price is not happening. It's roughly around $106, almost to the point where it's $110 for Access Code Talker. This card's not being used in every deck, but the deck it is being used in. This card by itself is a win con. It's that good. Could it be bannable? No, I don't think it could be bannable. Maybe it can. Konami will call us off guard. They've done it in the past with banless, but ultimately, not now. Not this specific case with Access Code Talker. This card's due to get a reprint in the Megatints, which got pushed back a month, which made the price jacked up in value. As we get closer to the Megatints, the price more than likely will calm down a little bit, and then release the Access Code Talker, hopefully as a Prismatic Secret Rare, will more than likely shotgun the value down. Until that day happens, which is pretty far away from right now, the price of Access Code Talker is only going to increase. Lightning Storm and Starlight Rares in general are just so insane right now, and I don't know what's happening. I previously bought my Starlight Rare Lightning Storms. Well, the market price right now is showing to be $550. The value is actually roughly around $540 for Lightning Storm, and I'll tell you right now, I bought my Lightning Storm for around $600. Proud of it, still happy about it. I don't care. I'm pumped about it. In fact, I might go in and buy 2 more Lightning Storm Starlight Rares because they're kind of dirt cheap right now. And if you go V, they're not that cheap. $550 is not dirt cheap at all. All right, except it is when you compare it against a secret rare counterpart, which is insanely expensive still. The unlimited version being roughly around $100, and first version being roughly around $110. That's not bad, given the fact that the Starlight Rare might be worth a good amount of more money, but when you buy a Starlight Rare over a Secret Rare, Starlight Rare holds value, Secret Rare does not. We can take this kind of example, and you look at IP Masquerena, and yeah, it has an Ultra Rare, and it has a Prismatic Secret Rare, and they're both slowly starting to be worth a lot of money, but the Starlight Rare IP Masquerena is well over $1,000. So if you're going to buy something expensive, hey, don't get me wrong, you could buy it $100 for a Lightning Storm and get the card you need. But if you're like me and you want to get a lot of value from what you put in, and you have the liquidity to pop in a card, why would you not do it in a Starlight Rare? And in my case, that's why, and that's my reasoning of why I am looking to do that for a Lightning Storm. More than likely, I'm going to be picking up another copy by the time this video comes out, just because I know the minute people see this video, they're like, oh, that's going to make sense. And then the market goes back up to $600, which within a couple of sales, it can easily do that. Okay. Then we have Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. This Starlight Rare with an $848 market price is at $1,500. By the way, after that one sold, it goes to $2,000 if you want to discredit the unverifiable sellers, depending how you want to look at it. I see it as $1,500 and then $2,000 for Appaloosa. And the reason why this card's money is, once again, how easy it is for you to get it. Appaloosa and Rising Rampage in general was the first set that dropped Starlight Rares. There's a lot of hype behind them. There's a lot of want behind them. They do see this card sees meta play sporadically, but when it does, it does. When it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is. And that's what Starlight Rare Appaloosa is right now in the market. Can it go higher in value? Of course it can. It can rise way higher in value. It might be worth more than these envelopes right here. Weird flex, I know, but I'm dropping in there for example. That might be worth just as much as these, and these are insanely hard to get. Why is it like that? Well, let's be honest. Appaloosa and Starlight Rares in general are getting harder and harder to find. The well at which you can find Starlight Rare Rising Rampage cards around are just kind of diminishing. You don't think I'm right? Okay, let's go on Rising Rampage and figure it out together. Looking at Rising Rampage, the Wind Charmer Verdant is roughly around $916. That's higher than its current $667 market price. Looking at Marine says Seahorse, no big deal. This card with $125 stabilization price, the market price shows to be roughly around $156. Looking at the card right now, it's $239. By the way, it quickly goes to roughly around $250, and then eventually hits around $350, $400. Starlight Rares is being gassed up, and the amount of players putting back in the market is the same mentality as what we said earlier about Ultimate Rares and Astral Packs. The amount of those coming back down means somehow there has to be a weird event in which you can players throw them on the market. Can it happen? Sure. Is it realistic and happening? Going to be likely? Probably not. Even Storm Dragon's Return, arguably the worst Starlight Rare in Yu-Gi-Oh! Starlight Raredom, is rising in value. This card when it first came out was $60. $60. Had you bought the card, you would have got a 100% increase. The card with the current $130 market price is roughly around almost near $130 a copy. For this card, this card's a baddie. But it's worth the money because it's hard to get. Once again, that is the mentality with Starlight Rares. It's hard to get. It's supply and demand's basic form. Is it hard for you to get? I want it. In this case, times 3. Appaloosa, one's more enough. You have 3 Appaloosa, you're just a madman. Okay. Swap Frog out of OTS Tournament Pack 3 with a $107 market price is not that anymore. It's actually more than doubled it. The current price point is roughly around $240. After that one's gone, it's $260 a copy for Ultimate Rare Swap Frog. Don't get me wrong, I like this card a lot. Is it really worth that much money? Now, if anyone out there watching this video right now is feeling a little disheartened going, V, I'm pretty bummed that I can't buy these Ultimate Rares at their insanely priced point. I can't buy them when they first debut, like Swap Frog, when it was like $100. I can't buy that. Luckily for you, you do get the chance to get the card as an Ultra Rare. Do you want to have it as an Ultimate Rare? Sure, everyone does. You know, if you go to anybody, knock on their door and go, hi, how's it going? Would you like to marry this amazing hot model and drive a Ferrari? And can I give you like 3 suitcases full of money just for you, tax-free? more than likely they'll say yes. Dumbasses will say no to be like, oh, I just had the chance to do that. But more or less, everyone's going to say yes. They're going to want that. And trust me, in the case of Swap Frog, if you said, hey, I know you're buying an ultra rare, can I just give you an ultimate rare? Most logical duelists will say yes. Dumbasses will say no. I'm just going to call it right now. Someone in the conversation will go, I actually like the ultra rare a lot more. Sure you do. Sure you do. Of course you do. Why would you not? You're a little special snowflake. People with common sense wants the thing is worth more money because they can sell it and get, pause of suspense, more money. Not a hard concept. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there because every now and then I say that and one guy's like, actually, I like gold rares. you don't, though. Like, you're just saying that because you want to be that guy, that unique little star snowflake, but you don't. Like, okay. Everyone, look at Jerry over there. He's all special and unique. And then he gets looked at and he goes, well, I'm a little snowflake. All right, go back to being useless. Listen. In the case of Ultimate Rare Swap Frog, I know people are really bummed about not getting his cards at max rarity. And in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!, I could not get things at max rarity. I just couldn't. And it sucks. But we still have opportunity to get Swap Frog as an ultra rare. And of course, there's a common. Now, don't get me wrong. I really think that obviously these cards and these rarities are getting harder and harder to find. The market's not replenishing them. And as time goes on, these will be expensive. You know how we know this is going to happen, by the way? And by the way, they're not even done rising. These cards are nowhere near done rising. And you know how we know this is going to happen? Well, think about it. It's very simple. We've seen this history already. If you played Magic the Gathering, we've seen this song and dance. And it's only going to get crazy. And you and I both know it. The Yu-Gi-Oh community is still figuring it out. And by the time it's figured out and it's locked in, a lot of these cards will be at some exorbitant prices. You literally have to sell your kidney, go down to Venezuela, trick a lot of people and get their kidneys, and maybe you'll have the opportunity to buy one of these cards. It's going to get expensive in this game. And as people might get upset and go, money runs the game, boo-hoo, you still have the opportunity to buy an ultra rare. The thing is, you want to buy an ultimate rare at a low price point. You want to spread FUD, you want to spread fears to everybody in hopes they will go, oh no, maybe you are right. I should sell my ultimate rare Swap Frog. But that's never going to happen. Things get inflated, they do calm down a little bit. Maybe it'll go down to $170, but then it gets spiked up even higher. And that's the kind of roller coaster ride we're in, where it only goes up. Why is that? Because these cards are old. They're hard to get, and as time goes on, they are going to become harder and harder to find. The rumors one day, if you hear about going to a Yu-Gi-Oh event and goes, that guy has a Starlight, you might, or maybe other duelists around you, and this is when you know you're getting old, will go, no he doesn't. But he does, because you've been around here. And we're very lucky and fortunate to be here right now. As we pull away from here, it's going to get to the point where it'll be rumors or it'll be speculation for somebody to have one of these old, hard-to-get cards at max rarity. Power 9 Magic the Gathering. If you don't know what that means, what I just said, that is literally what happened for a lot of players. So someone to walk into a regular locals and say, I have Power 9, most people will look at you like you're a dumbass and they'll laugh at you. That's like walking in and saying, I have all the Starlight Rares in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! They're gonna laugh at you. And maybe might not be right now, but as time goes on, as the prices increase, and we pull away, they will laugh at you. Thinking about it, it's kind of funny. The odds are you more than likely don't have it and you're lying. Now, why would I say that thing? Because of Magic the Gathering, and especially as a store owner myself, I know when a customer will come to me and go, oh yeah, I have a lot of old Magic the Gathering cards. And I have to reference Magic in this case because Yu-Gi-Oh will be referenced in the future. But they'll be like, I have a lot of old Magic the Gathering cards, and I know it's worth like $1 zillion. At least, minimum, I'm thinking of getting it for like $30,000. I think that's what my collection's worth. And you sit as an owner, and every store owner knows this, you'll go, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, $1 zillion, $30,000. Yeah, I have like 5 Power 9 sets. Oh, you do? Wow. This is what we do, by the way. This is 100%. I'm not BSing you at all. We go, wow, that's crazy. You're going to sell it? Yeah, I'll bring it. I'll sell it. I'll show you. And then they bring you a binder. It's all like 9th edition lands, and you're like, get out of my face, you putz. Like, but this is what happens in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! As we pull away from these cards, and as Konami makes newer and newer cards, maybe different rarities, these older cards are going to be hard to get. The value is going to increase exponentially, and it's going to make sense for players today, just like it makes sense for players that are looking at older cards and seeing the fact that there is value within there right now. As time goes on, value increases because nobody is going to be dumping Swap Frog Ultimate Rare onto the market. That was a long explanation, hopefully you guys can kind of get a glimpse of it. Like I said, if you know Magic and you know Yu-Gi-Oh, you know their markets, you totally get this already. And I'm sorry for wasting your time. But for a lot of players out there that only play Yu-Gi-Oh, this is important because these cards are going to be insanely expensive as time goes on. Starlight Rares, Ghost Rares, Ultimate Rares, jacked up into the thousands. And for you go, that's not fair, V. I want a Starlight Rare Appaloosa. Yeah, I want a Porsche Princess. But we don't get what we always want. In the case of Appaloosa, there's an Ultra Rare. Well, there's a Ghost Rare, I believe it is. And it got reprints so everyone can afford it. But the high rarity cards are going to get more expensive. Appaloosa being $1,500? That's a joke. That card's going to be worth multiple thousands of dollars as time goes on. And I'll take that PepsiCo challenge against anybody, any day. Up next, we have Trickster Life Stage. I always want to say light stage. This card with a roughly $3 market price is roughly around, well, limit's roughly around $3. But if you want a position, it's roughly around $3 as well. $4 with shipping. The thing about this card is, and the reason I want to point this card is because it came out of Savage Strike, which is a really good set. Has no other reprints, by the way, including a Megaton reprint, which it didn't get, and it's a great card to have. I personally have a playset, and I don't even like Tricksters, but a playset nevertheless, because it didn't get reprinted in Megatons, which means it's more likely to be worth money. We saw this happen with other cards that were in Megatons. You know, be worth money. That's one of them as well. So keep your eye on this card. We also have Thunder Dragons. I did type in Thunder Dragon, and I got a bunch of, like, whatever cards, but Thunder Dragons. Thunder Dragon Colossus right now, Ultimate Rare, with a $72 market price, is somehow worth, well, it's worth about $100. And it's banned. Why is that? Well, once again, do you have any? No, more likely you dumped, or a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players dumped when his card did get banned. The price plummeted down to, I believe, $30 or $40. I could be wrong. Then the price slowly started getting eaten up. Now, hold on one second. POV, you're hanging out with a bunch of guys who's holding Ultimate Rare Thunder Dragons, and you're going to yourself, why? It's banned. Answer simple. Because it's the highest rarity version of a card, and it had to come off the ban list, it's going to be worth a lot of money. Everyone thought the same thing, so they went in and bought the card when it was low. $30, $40, $50, $60, and now it's up to $100. You think somebody that's holding this card that sees it at $100 is going to sell it? Probably not. But you could sell a card. You got in at $40. You could make $60. Sure, it comes with the ban list. I can make way more, way faster, because hype sells in this game. By the way, if you are saying to yourself, man, I really wish I had the opportunity to get the Dragon Colossus Ultimate Rare, and obviously you don't, or maybe you might still, look at this Secret Rare out of Soul Fusion. This card with a $9 market price, on limited versions are at $9, first edition versions are at $13 to $15. This version also is increasing in price point. And if that's too high for you, you got the Ultra Rare, which is also increasing in price point, roughly around $3 a copy. There's still meat in the bones. A Romage Jasmine out of Clash of Rebellions with a $9 market price is roughly around $9 to $10. This card at one point was like insanely expensive. I know it got a reprint. Let's go double check real quickly. As an Ultra Rare and Dual Power, but the original print Secret Rare for this card, not bad to be honest with you. Now, me personally, I'm not a big fan of playing plants, even though I do like Sun Avalons. And I would love to see this card see play in the meta one time, if any. It's all playing the OG as like a plant support or whatever, and I like to see playing here, but you know, once again, teach his own. But this card's kind of low in value, and I don't think it's gonna be that low for that long. I do think this card's gonna go back up higher in value, and yeah, just throwing it out there for you guys. Then we have Chronomaly Crystal Chrononaut. I said that right. I feel pretty proud of myself. This card only came out in Rise of Duels with a $1 market price. The value is not. It's roughly around $8 to $9 a copy. Do you have yours? Why did you have yours? What does this do? I don't even want to read the effect anymore. I started reading and I just stopped. $9. So if you have some, good money to sell. That makes sense. Okay. OTS Tournament Pack 15 is obviously our newest OTS pack. Looking at older OTS packs, we can see value left and right, especially the older you go. You get into single digits, more value. It just is what it is. Looking at OTS Tournament Pack 15, believe it or not, I will tell you, one day this will be worth an absorbent amount of money. It'll be a long time for Armed Dragon level 10 and Dark Requiem XYZ Dragon. That's going to be a long time. But Crystal Needle Fiber, I do believe this card is way undervalued right now, and this card would easily be minimum $100. Minimum. Other cards like Dogmatica Punishment is still worth a lot of money because Dogmatica and the other super rares I do think have definitely good value and potential. But in the case of OTS Tournament Pack 15, Armed Dragon level 10 one day might hit $100. Dark Realm might be $100. You might have grandchildren and they might tell you, if you can remember, with your Alzheimer's and whatnot, but that might be a thing. But in the case of Crystal Needle Fiber, it actually can happen in the future. And I do think the minute we get OTS 16, keep eyeing that card, especially if you see a meta deck that can definitely utilize it, and that's not a hard thing to ask for, being the fact that the card is is really good, despite the fact that it's not seeing as much play right now. Before I end my video, I just want to say one quick thing. I have another YouTube channel. I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you see it, you see it. No big deal. To anyone that's commenting like Paisano, my other YouTube channel, I'm probably just going to ban you. And that's not being malicious or anything like that, but like, it's not about Yu-Gi-Oh! And people are already like, hey, Paisano, what do you think about this card in my other YouTube channel? It has nothing to do with Yu-Gi-Oh! Just absolutely nothing to do with Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm just going to ban you. To those who come in and you know, chill out with everybody else, it's cool. You and I know something that not a lot of people know. That's kind of cool. That's the cool thing to do. To go in there and go, hey, V, what's going on, Paisano? What deck you playing? Are you playing locals later on as I'm doing my YouTube channel? Or maybe I'm doing like a live stream? Once again, not cool. I'm just probably going to ban you guys. Just because everyone around you looking at you like you're a weirdo. And now you're making me feel uncomfortable. Just hey, that in general. Let's be cool about it. That's whatever. Okay? Looking at the set and looking at the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, I think it's clear to say that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to get even more expensive as time goes on. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are obviously going to want to get a hold of a bunch of these cards. As we all know, they will become harder as time goes on, and they want to invest properly. That's why market watch channels like myself have been growing exponentially. I do think there's a lot of room for a lot of players to go in and get involved and invest in these cards if you're looking to do that way and hold these cards. I really do. And make sure if you do it that way to think about what would you say if you saw your card years on the line, like a first edition Star Dragon. If you saw it moderately played, would it still be worth money? It's a good question, actually. So I talk about that in another video. If you see a moderately play like Black Horse Dragon Unlimited, is it worth money? Is the first edition version worth money? When to go in, when to not go in, when to buy, when to sell, when to hold. Do you see a lot of PSA cards happening? Not really. Can it happen? Sure. We've seen it in Magic Gathering, we've seen it in Pokemon. Can it happen in Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh community, the Yu-Gi-Oh player base doesn't really care about it right now. Our collector's market is relatively small, though I will say we spent a ridiculous amount of money compared to other card games. Once again, looking at Magic Gathering, we can see that their prices of their cards are increasing as time goes on, especially the harder to get cards, despite the fact that we still have a ton of reprints in that game. They're starting to ramp up the reprints a lot more. The reason why is because if it's Odin, it's hard to get, and you can't get it, or you don't work hard enough or get paid enough, which you should get paid more to get it. Well, people are going to if you don't. And in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, we're seeing that happen right now in real time. Anyway, Paisanos, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button. It's your boy V, and you Paisanos. You Paisanos have a great day.